Hello everybody and welcome back. In today's video, we've got another game recap video to discuss. The first two games in Edmonton are done in the Stanley Cup Final. We'll touch on both of these games and how the Stanley Cup Final is shaping up after Game 2. We'll get to all the updates from the past couple of days coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here at the End-to-End Hockey channel. Before we're going to start off with to like this video and subscribe down below. Thank you for all of your support. I would never be able to do this without all of you guys, so if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below. Don't forget to leave a comment. It really helps upload the channel. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. Don't forget to stay tuned for my June 27th, June 28th, and July 1st live streams talking about free agency, the draft, and all the other things combined. And so in today's video, we're going to be doing another game recap video. Just want to quickly mention that I picked up a hat over the past couple of days. I have one other hat that I just bought. I'll wear it in one of my future videos, but we got the Vegas Golden Knights cap here. Once again, not sponsored or anything, but I do have the Vegas Golden Knights cap, so I'm going to be wearing this one for a couple of videos here. But in today's video, we've got a game recap video. The first two games, the Stanley Cup Final, have finished, and they were both extremely tight overtime games that sees this series be quite close. So we'll touch on both of these games here and how the series shapes up heading to Florida. So in the first game that we saw of the Stanley Cup Final, the Oilers were able to open the scoring early on, got a 1-0 lead. Panthers will make it 2-1 by the end of the first period. Early in the second period, Sam Bennett would make it a 3-1 game, which would give the Panthers the lead, but then just a couple of minutes later, Arvidsson would score, which would make it a 3-2 game. That's the way the second period would finish. Then about 6 minutes into the third period, Matthias Ekholm will score, making it a 3-3 game. That's the way the third period finished. This game went to overtime. The first overtime game in the Stanley Cup Final since Game 3 of the 2023 Cup Final between the Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights. And it was a very entertaining, high-event overtime game, but a late power play in overtime set the Oilers up on a power play. And thanks to this goal here from Leon Draisaitl in overtime on the power play around Sportsnet, the Oilers were able to take down the Florida Panthers after trailing 3-1 in that game, 4-3 in overtime as the Oilers took the 1-0 series lead. It was the first time, I think, in over 30 games under Paul Maurice that the Florida Panthers blew a lead after leading going into the third period. So very impressive win there for the Edmonton Oilers as they took that 1-0 series lead in Game 1 in Edmonton. For the Oilers, Draisaitl scored twice, including the OT winner. McDavid and Kapanen both had 2 assists, and Ekholm and Arvidsson both also scored for the Oilers in the win, so a couple of former Predators got on the board. Well, for the Panthers, Bennett scored twice, Schmidt and Verhaeghe both had 2 assists, and Marchand also scored for the Panthers in the overtime loss. It was a very intriguing game. 2 days later, we saw the Florida Panthers take on the Edmonton Oilers in Game 2 in Edmonton. It was a very intriguing game. In this game, it was a high-event, high-scoring first period. The Panthers would put themselves up 1-0 thanks to another Sam Bennett goal, who at that point had 3 goals for the Florida Panthers. Then the Oilers would score back-to-back goals, first Evander Kane, then Evan Bouchard, which would give them a 2-1 lead. Seth Jones would score into a wide-open net, making it a 2-2 game. Then another power play goal from Leon Draisaitl off a beautiful feed from Connor McDavid would make it a 3-2 game for the Edmonton Oilers. That's the way the first period would end. Lots of penalties in that first period, and the Oilers took a 3-2 lead into the second. Then in the second period, Dmitry Kulyakov would score to make it a 3-3 game. It was a bad bounce off of Bouchard that went straight into the net, but still it was a really good goal there for Kulyakov. And then on top of that, Brad Marchand would score a short-handed goal to make it 4-3 Panthers. Marchand scored on the exact same date 14 years prior when he scored a shorthanded goal against the Vancouver Canucks in the Stanley Cup Final en route to what Boston had an 8-1 win. And it was good things there for Florida after the 2 goals from Kulikov and Marchand gave them a 4-3 lead heading to the third period. But in the dying seconds of the third period, Corey Perry would score a rebound goal to put the puck into the net, tie the game at 4 apiece with 18 seconds left. The Panthers were 18 seconds away from tying the series up. It was not to be. It's sent to overtime, really high of an overtime. Once again, no scoring in overtime. So this game went to double overtime. And in that double overtime, off a breakaway goal, this goal here from Brad Marchand, or Sportsnet, was the second of the game. Marchand and Bennett have combined for 6 of the Florida Panthers' 8 goals in the first 2 games in this series. and that was all she wrote. Marchand's double overtime winner helped the Florida Panthers take down the Edmonton Oilers 5-4 in double overtime. Very high event game, very close battle. Both first games were really close in this series. Both went to overtime and they split. So heading back to Florida, it's a 1-1 series. Completely different script from last year when Florida was the home team, and they won both games in Florida to take a 2-0 series lead to Edmonton for game 3. So very interesting note there. Those are the game recaps from our past couple of days as the Stanley Cup final shifts to Florida. We're going to touch on the next few days of game action over on Friday, so definitely don't forget to tune in for that. But just to recap, here's the matchups as it's right now. So the Stanley Cup Finals at 1 apiece. That's the only matchup we got to talk about here today. So those are all the game recaps from our past couple days. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Are you surprised that not one of Florida or Edmonton are up 2-0? And are you surprised that it's a 1-1 series heading back to Florida? Definitely your thoughts on all of that down in the comment section below. That's all I'm going to talk about for today. We're going to like this video, and for listeners, subscribe below. Thank you for all of your support. I would never be able to do so if you guys, so if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below. Don't forget to leave a comment. I also do a blog, talk about news, rumors, analysis, stuff like that, so check that out. I've linked it down in the description below. Can't wait to see you guys all for the next video. See you guys soon.